Yo, 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 yo! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome and welcome. Welcome in. Is that what I just said? I don't even understand the own words that are coming out of my mouth at this point. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel, or should I rename it the Terrifier update page, because that is all I've been doing lately. I do really appreciate all the views, though. Thank you so much for watching all my crazy Terrifier 3 updates and theories. Does mean a whole lot. Saving my November, let me tell you, holy shit. Old Jake usually takes a dump this month because horror films are unfortunately on the down right now. With October being the big orgasm, for lack of a better word. It's usually after that tends to the hype for horror tends to go down a little bit. Not for old Jake though. I'm watching him year round. I don't give a shit. And I'm so glad that you guys are checking out the updates too. So thank you so much. Really does mean a lot. Gunner's hanging out with us tonight saying, don't understand the hate for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I thought it was great. Seeing Matthew Lillard is like seeing Stu back in action. That was fun. Definitely my favorite part of the whole movie, without a doubt. The ending with him and all that. Is it a spoiler? I mean, come on. We all knew he was playing William Afton. It's not exactly a murder mystery, so to say. We got to see him channel his inner Stu. It was a lot of fun, man. I had a great time there with that one. I wasn't crazy about, the first two acts of the movie, but that third act, it was pretty fun. It was all right. I love Matthew Lillard. Gotta love him, man. Olaf the Snowman, what's up, dog? The word of the day is deduce. Yes, it is. The word of the day over here on KillJoy Jake is deduce. I love that word. Great stuff, man. Thanks for being here, Olaf. Appreciate you. William Killian Dillon? Is that your full name? Villain Killian Dillon is here. I can't read today. I thought the word of the day was expunge. That's a scarier word, I would say. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow. You never know. We can have a different word every single day of the week. That's the best part about it. Villain Killian Dillon, or William, as I'm apparently calling you. Thank you for being here, my friend, and thanks for being a KillJoy cult member. Appreciate you and your support. Scott Walker's got some thoughts for Scream 7. Absolutely, dog. Throw them in the chat. We'll get to them. You know it. Austin 530. What's up, Austin? How's it going, man? What's good? I'm vibing out, chilling, hanging. Qing and Aing. Don't ask what A stands for, though. Hoo-hoo. Doesn't stand for Austin. Welcome in, dog. Welcome in. Appreciate you. Logan Evans, yo, dog. How's it going? Welcome in. Welcome in, Logan. Let's talk a little horror. I'm excited. Ashley S is here, too. Let's go. Thanks for being here, Ashley. Appreciate you. And thank you for your support as well. Random Vids 21 is saying, have you seen the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie? If you have, what are your thoughts? I just did a big old nasty video on that one, and it's extra nasty, let me tell you. I enjoyed parts of it. I don't think it was a great adaptation of the video game, in my opinion. I think that it's really just for like hardcore Five Nights at Freddy's fans to look for Easter eggs. And I don't know, like, is that a movie? I don't know. I enjoyed parts of it. I think that's fun, but I just wish it was more than just the Easter eggs, which is what a lot of people seem to be impressed by. I think you need more than that to be a movie, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'm so happy it's successful. I'm so happy that Matthew Lillard is once again like this in a movie that's making like a shit ton of money, which is great. That makes me very happy. So there's a lot of pluses from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, is what I will say. We have Matthew Lillard in the horror space again, which is great. That's the biggest plus. It making a lot of money too means it's definitely going to be a franchise, which means the sequel can be better potentially, which I'm excited for. I've honestly become a fan of the franchise just over this past year, doing all the research on it. There's a lot of interesting shit about that franchise that I never knew before. Like, I had only ever played that first game and loved it. Like, I love the video game. It's so much fun and so scary. I just don't feel like the movie captured that same energy very well. Like, this might be a hot take, but I think Markiplier's playthrough of that first game is more fun to watch than the actual movie, which that's a shame. I don't know. It's fine for what it is. I just wish it was scarier. Like, that first game scared the piss out of me the first time I played it, man. Like, some of those jump scares in there, nasty. And the fact that the jump scares in the movie are so watered down, it's like, really? Like, what? Man, I don't know. Really thought they were going to go harder with that. But I think for the most part, like the costumes too. That's another. I don't know how I didn't even mention that. The costumes are amazing. 10 out of 10 in terms of costuming. Jim Henson's Creature Shop, always killing it there. So that I will say is a huge plus from that movie as well. Huge. Gotta respect practicals, man. Gotta love it. But I do think there's a lot of good from it. There's a lot of good. It's not like it's not Exorcist Believer bad where I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, how did this come from an Exorcist sequel? Jacob Myers, yo, my friend. How you doing? Welcome on in, my friend. Welcome. Sammy versus here too. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome, welcome. Brandon the Beldum. What's up, Jake in chat? Yo! I love the red in your profile picture, dog. I dig it. Good stuff. Logan can't wait for Terrifier 3. I'm with you, dog. I cannot wait. Oh, it's going to be fun. Chris Pike misses the OG intro, Jake. Ooh! Oh, man, I haven't thought about that in a long time, Chris. I still have it. Maybe one day I'll bring it back. It had all the clips from horror movies and stuff. It was kind of sick. I might bring it back, Chris. That'll be fun. Well, what I will say, Chris, though, is that if you're a Freddy tier patron right now, you can determine what the intro's going to look like. Oh, yeah, you have until Friday to determine what quote is going to play in my intro. So far, the Thanksgiving quote, "Gobble, gobble, motherfucker," is in the lead right now. So you can determine if you want it to be that, if you want it to be, I have a bunch of Scream quotes to pick from. There's a Night of the Living Dead one that also has some votes. I think that one's in a close second right now. So there you go. Become a Freddy tier patron, and you can vote on that, as well as some other fun perks out there. So check it out. We have Thanksgiving tomorrow. Yes, I will be doing a live review on that Friday night. Very excited for that. Cannot wait. I'll have a review video out as well soon. Got to get a review video out for It's a Wonderful Knife as well. Still have not been able to see that movie, which makes me sad. Olaf the Snowman, thanks for the $2, man. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you. Saying, welcome back, buddy. Thank you, dog. I had a very nice break recently, and I'm back to it now. It's insane. Just this week already, I've done 4 live streams and 3 videos? 4 videos? I can't remember. Too many videos to count. So I hope you guys are digging it. I'm all freshen up from my break. I can't speak properly, but I feel fresh, and that's what matters. Olaf, thanks for the $2, man. I really do appreciate it. Ghostface95, yo, what's up, dog? Saying, hey, Jake, how's it going? I'm sick, but slowly making a recovery. Good to hear, man. Good that you're making a recovery. I have to ask, what 2 horror franchises you want to cross over, and how would you want them to the crossover to go? In terms of, crossover horror films, I think these really only work with some of the sillier franchises. We're talking about Megan and Chucky potentially crossing over soon, which I personally wouldn't be against. I feel like both of those franchises are pretty silly, pretty campy. Why not? Why not have them fight each other? It's perfect. I mean, Megan's like the new kid on the block versus the old timer. I love it. I think that would be hilarious. I would love to see that in the show. They got to jump the shark. Let's just say that. Slashing it with Matt. What's up, dog? How you doing? Welcome in, Matt. Saying, seeing Thanksgiving tomorrow. Can't wait. Jake, what were your thoughts on It's a Wonderful Knife? I haven't seen it yet. Oh my God. I know. I'm lacking over here. Got to watch it. I am very excited for it, though. The only reason I haven't seen it is there's just no showings in my area, unfortunately. Very hyped for it, though. It's from writer, specifically, not the director. Writer Michael Kennedy, who also did Freaky from 2020. Very underrated slasher. If you have not seen it, I could not recommend it more. Very good movie. It's very good stuff. Brandon seeing Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving night. Very nice. Very appropriate, too, Brandon. I dig that, man. Yo, what's up, Jason Carpenter? How you doing? Thanks for your support this month. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Austin is saying, who's your favorite actor from Terrifier? Probably Sienna. I really do love everybody from the franchise, though. I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of them, and they're incredibly kind. Someone else who doesn't get talked about enough is Jenna Cannell from the first Terrifier. I had a wonderful conversation with her earlier in the year at Horror Hound. She was so kind, just so nice. I felt bad, no one was over at her stand, so I went over there and I said hi to her, and she was one of the most pleasant conversations I had that whole weekend. It was great. She was so interesting, had a lot to say about the genre and all that, and was hyping up Renfield. It was before that movie came out. She's also in that, if you have not seen it. She was awesome. So I love Jenna Cannell, love Lauren Lavera, Elliot Fulham. He's amazing. I love all these people in these movies. All of them have been so kind to my channel, and very thankful for these movies. Louis Tango, what's up, Louis? How you doing? Who do you think the possible killer could be in part 7 of Scream? I've pitched a shit ton of theories on this so far, but my favorite one is having a killer whose motive is trying to wipe out the rest of the remaining characters. So no more ghost faces can come about for retribution, because that's kind of been a thing, right? That could kind of be commentary on the franchise itself. I think that would be a lot of fun. Because, with the last couple of movies, I should say 6, 4, and 3, and 2, the majority of the sequels have been some kind of family-oriented thing where it's for the most part, it's you killed this person, and now they were part of my family, so fuck you, I'm going to kill you too. I think it would be kind of funny if we commented on that a little bit. Scream 6 kind of, did a little elbow into the franchise, so why not 7 take that a step further? I think that could be fun, with a killer who's literally making fun of some of the past killers with their motive. So I think that'll be kind of sick. Ella is asking, how long will your merch be on sale? I'm waiting for that check to hit so I can rep the dope beanies. Thank you so much, Ella. I appreciate that. It'll be on sale the rest of the month and might even leak into December a little bit. You use code November at checkout, 15% off your order on everything. That goes for everything. If we're talking these badass beanies, which is like this little Ghostface one, which is kind of simple. You can't see it because of the comment. There we go. Bam. This one is kind of sick. This is my personal favorite, though. Instead of having friends, I have horror movies. It's like I don't know what that's called. Is that embossed? Weird stitching? I don't know. It looks sweet, though. I'm getting one of these myself soon. My other favorite one right now is the Red Right Hand hoodie, which you can get, once again, 15% off. Pretty fucking sick. Sorry about the shameless plug, everybody. I'm almost done. And also, everything is in hoodies now. Like, all of the designs, hoodies. So if you want some winter collection and all that shit, maybe you want a KillJoy Jake blanket, too, because it's fucking cold outside. Fuck that shit. Get yourself some warm shit at the store. That was a lot of shits. So yeah, it'll on sale the rest of the month. Go get it whenever. Do your thing. Anyways, let's see what else everyone is talking about. Cody Ghostface, what's up, Cody? How's it going? Hey, Jake, hope all is well and hope chat is doing good. I hope so too. Thanks for being here, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sammy Verse is saying, why do you think it took so long for us to get new horror icons? I just had a conversation about this not an hour ago. We finally gotten icons like Art the Clown, Megan, and the Taker. Or the Grabber, do you mean, from Black Phone? I would say he's an icon. We're getting a sequel, you know? I feel like he was iconic enough for that. I really think it comes down to the fact that a lot of the bigger movies from the last, 20 years that featured horror icons kind of flew under the radar. You know, something I was just talking with Nerdbox, another great horror channel out there, specifically about this. And some of the bigger movies that featured what could have been iconic characters flew under the radar, didn't hit with people in the thousands in the 2010s for whatever reason. One of the biggest ones that nowadays is, heralded as a classic, Trick or Treat, that featured Sam. I think most people, at least 5 years ago, would probably think that he was like the Spirit Halloween mascot or something. They didn't even know who he was, didn't even know the movie he came from, which is a shame because I think Trick or Treat's fantastic. It just never got a wide release, which if it did, I'm telling you, there would be more than one of those movies. Same with Leslie Vernon from Beyond the Mask. Is it Beyond the Mask or Behind the Mask? It's Behind the Mask. Beyond the Mask is a YouTube channel. Point being, there's a lot of characters that could have been icons, but just weren't because they just didn't have their movies blow up for whatever reason. Just something that was unfortunate about the last 20 years, I guess. But we're getting back to it. We got Art the Clown, of course, is the big one. Megan, Megan has a sequel coming. The Grabber from the Black Phone, I would say, is absolutely on his way to that status. But a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff coming from the horror genre lately. I think we're in a brand new renaissance of it. I think years from now, we'll look back at the 2020s as just a great time for horror. Catbread is saying opinions on the pre-production of the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. I got to do a whole video on this, actually. I'm curious about what is going on with all that. The only thing I've been really keeping up with Five Nights at Freddy's is the box office for the new film, which is insane. I think it crossed over 200 million recently. And that's awesome. Honestly, listen, despite my opinion on it, whenever horror movies make a lot of money, that's great for the genre. That means more horror movies. So even if the shittiest horror movie ever makes $200 million, I'm going to be happy about it. So very happy for the success of Five Nights at Freddy's. Can't wait to see what they do with the sequel, man. I hope it's good. I'm still rooting for it. I'm still rooting for those movies because I want them to be good. But I don't know. I just don't know if they are. Eric Cartman is asking about Thomas Jane. Yes, he was in oh my god, what the other Stephen King thing? The Mist, right? Isn't he in the star of The Mist? And he's doing an adaptation of From a Buke 8. Yes, From a Buke 8 is, in my opinion, the superior Stephen King car story. Hot take. Christine's great, don't get me wrong, but From a Buke 8, much better story, in my opinion. Much weirder, too, which is why I like it. Yes, but a banging story. I've always wondered why this never got a movie adaptation. It's one of the better Stephen King stories that just doesn't have any adaptation. It's a shame. So I'm very excited for it. It's going to be a really cool movie. If you want to know more about it, look it up. I don't want to tell you anything. It's a very bizarre and strange story. Read the book, too. Read books, ladies and gentlemen. Books are good, I promise. They are fun. Oh, Gabriel, that's too hard. Top 5 not horror movies. I love a lot of movies, man. See, I'm very much so on the... I like both ends of the spectrum when it comes to movies. I like the most horrifying, dark shit you can find, but then I'm also a huge Pixar movie fan. Like Ratatouille, I fucking love it. Incredibles, two of my favorite movies. I love both of those so much. I'm trying to think what else. I really love those. Spirited Away is my all-time favorite animated film. Love Spirited Away. Love Studio Ghibli movies just in general. Oh, I'm trying to think what else. I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Love all those movies. Those two are like very close, near and dear to my heart. I said this in a video recently, but Austin Powers Goldmember, I don't give a shit. Fight me. I love it. I love that movie so much. I think it's so funny. It's so ridiculous. It was one of the first comedy movies I ever saw. Tommy Boy's up there. I love Dumb and Dumber too, in terms of comedies. Wow, I'm just spitballing. I gave you way more than 5, Gabriel, so that should be good enough. There we go. I love a lot of movies though, man. I also, something else that doesn't get talked about, and personally, I kind of consider them to be horror movies, but I have the box set for Planet of the Apes. I love those original Planet of the Apes movies. Oh, some of them are horror. I wouldn't say all of them are horror, but some of them lean into that a little bit. Like 2 and 4, the second and the fourth Planet of the Apes movies, those are horror films, man. I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. Scary ass movies, man. Logan is saying, if you had to pick one horror character between John Carver and the Grabber, who would it be? Well, I haven't seen John Carver in action yet, so I'm going to go with the Grabber just because I know more about him. I'm excited to see John Carver. Let me tell you, I'm very excited for this new movie. Literally seeing it tomorrow. I might have a better take in 24 hours, but as of right now, got to go with the Grabber just because I feel like I know more about him. I also read The Black Phone, the story that the movie's based off of. It's close, but not the same. Jacob Myers is saying, Jake, what do you think Halloween Ends will be like if it continued right after Halloween Kills in 2018 and if the pandemic didn't occur? What would it be like? I don't know if it would be much different. I mean, it was recently revealed that this was always the plan to do what they did in Halloween Ends. I don't know if I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I believe that or not. But what I will say about Halloween Ends is I think that if they had just planned the trilogy a little better, I think that story could have worked. It's just the fact that they just dropped us into that randomly. That's what really doesn't work about it for me. You could have done that like in the middle of a movie, cool, whatever. But starting off the movie with a brand new story when you were supposed to, when you not only promised us that you were going to have the final fight between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode be the big thing about the movie, and it's not, it's an afterthought at best, then I don't know. Like, I just don't know what the point of that. I don't know what the point of telling that story really was. I still don't get it. I maybe if it was Cameron, like if it was Cameron who was the one that was corrupted by the evil, a character we were already familiar with, then it would have been a little more acceptable in my mind. But the fact that it was a brand new person randomly out of nowhere that never been mentioned before, that's what just does not work about it for me at all. I don't know if that's really, the pandemic or delays or anything. I don't know if that had any effect towards it. It does feel like a little like they overthought it, though. I will say that. David Santa Carlos with us tonight. What's up, David? How's it going? Saying, let's have it when evil lurks, when we getting around to it, sir. There is a review. I already have my review out for it, actually, my friend. For patrons, for Jason and Freddie tier patrons, you guys can check that out. I just posted it maybe like a week ago. So check it out. Put out a whole review of this one. Once again, go check out the review. I don't want to say too much about it. I really enjoyed it, but it was definitely overhyped. Like, I have never, in my 4 years of working on this channel, had another movie more recommended to me more. Like, so many people, I'm not even kidding, like 100 people recommended this movie to me. So I was going into it with real high expectations. I kind of wish I didn't, because I think it ruined some aspects of the movie for me personally, but I did enjoy it. It's up there for me for my rankings of the year. Definitely not number one though. Like, not my number one, but it's in my top 10. I'll say that. I really enjoyed it. Little overhyped in my opinion. Just a smidge overhyped. Kind of does the same thing the whole movie over and over and over again. That's my biggest criticism of it. But I really enjoyed it. It is a really fun watch, and challenges a lot of what we think of horror movies. Check out my review though, because that's just off the cuff answer. I promise my review talks about that a little better. Hellfire Munson, thank you for the $5, man. I really appreciate you. Saying, hey Jake, I loved your theory on Terrifier 3. It makes so much sense. Oh, sick, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Check out my new video today, by the way. Really put a lot of thought and effort into that one. And once again, thank you to Child of the Corn for giving me the idea. Love you, man. Have a great stream. I love you too, dude. Also seeing Thanksgiving opening night. Fuck yes. Oh, Hellfire Munson, I really hope you enjoy it, my friend. I'm expecting to... you want to talk about going into a movie with high expectations. I'm not going to lie. I'm going into Thanksgiving maybe a little higher than I should. I'm very high on this movie because I think that, like, Eli Roth's return to horror, like, he hasn't made a horror movie in a very long time. It's the first Eli Roth movie I'm covering on this page. I'm very excited for it. It's kind of hard for me to not go into this one with high expectations. I love Hostel. I love Cabin Fever. I love The Green Inferno so fucking much. I really want this to be good. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is a banger. But you know what? I'm gonna try to settle myself down. I'm just so excited for this one. I cannot wait for tomorrow. This was one of the movies from the beginning of the year that I was the most excited for. So I can't wait. Can't wait, man. Hellfire Munson, thank you for the $5, man. I really hope you enjoy it. Really hope you dig it. Luddy Network is with us. What's up, Luddy? How's it going? Luddy, I've been waiting for you to come into a stream because I got your gift. I won't say too much, but another thing that has never happened in the 4 years of doing this page is I've never received a flamethrower in the mail before, which is insane. So, Luddy, for you, I will give you a oh yeah, oh, yeah, oh, just for you, man. Thank you so much. All I'm gonna say in regards to that as well is you might see it in something I'm working on soon, and you will be there will be a big thank you in whatever the credits are for a maybe short film that I have coming up. Ooh, won't say any more than that. Don't want to spoil nothing. Did I already spoil something? I probably did. Trevon King, what's up, dog? How's it going? Have you seen Cry Wolf? Yes. All I'm gonna say is shot through the heart, and you're too late. You give love a bad name. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying. Great movie though. Really fun. Really enjoyed that one. What else is going on in the chat? So that you guys don't have to listen to me try to sing anymore. Because, oh, that's bad. Random Vids 21 is saying, how far do you think the Terrifier franchise will go? Well, I do think that we'll get we'll get at least 4. That's what Damien Leone has promised. I think he said in an interview once that would be the full scope of the story, is 4 movies. Personally, I'm of the opinion that they should just keep going until they lose quality or run out of stories to tell. Just keep going. Like, keep running it. If there's 8 Terrifier films and they're all good, I'm not complaining. If they want to make 10 of them, I'm here for it, man. I think with every franchise, keep going until you run out of steam. Don't make a movie if you don't feel like you need to. I feel like Terrifier 3 needs to happen, though. Maybe a Terrifier 4, too. So I hope we get at least 4, because I love these movies so much. But I'm very excited to see where it ends up going. I like I said, I could take 56 of these movies and still be happy, but whenever Damien Leone's heart is content with this franchise, then I'll be happy. That's what I'll say. I love this franchise so much. I think it's a blast. From 1 and 2 are just so good. I can't wait for 3, man. It's gonna be awesome. Dark Mad Mess. I like that. A mad mess. I dig that. A lot of people are talking shit about Eli Roth. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Eli Roth. Some people are not fans of him. I don't know. I mean, he says some weird things every now and then. So if you watch the behind the scenes of Hostel, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know. I love his movies, man. I think they're very smart, while yes, being maybe a little indulgent sometimes. But I love them. I think like Hostel is a misunderstood movie. I think a lot of people just look at that as, oh my God, like these characters are such shit. But it's like, it's done on purpose, man. You're not supposed to be rooting for those characters. So I don't know. I really love how Eli Roth pushes it, as Logan is talking about. Will Eli push the limit and make it very similar to his trailer? If so, it's going to be an amazing what the fuck experience. I think, yeah, I mean, you said it right there. In the Grindhouse trailer, the new trailer, I feel like we're doing some pretty fucking nasty shit. Eli Roth has a certain sense of humor about his movies that I personally find very funny. He takes things as dark as they possibly can go, but still finds room to be campy. Like Green Inferno is a testament to that. The Munchies scene. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, man. Fucking hilarious, but also extremely dark and messed up. So I don't know. For me, that works. That mixture of campy and dark. For some people, not as much. But I think when you have a campy horror movie that isn't dark, that's what doesn't work for me. I'm down for camp, but it's got to have that horror edge to it as well. The Green Inferno does that so well, in my opinion. Like it's the best of both worlds. We can have campiness, but we can also be fucking terrified at the same time. I'm personally of the opinion that a great movie doesn't just elicit one fucking emotion. Like every scene should elicit multiple things, or do multiple things in the writing, because we can. We've all seen a lot of movies. We've all seen movies try to do just one thing, and it's like, okay, that was cool. But movies that accomplish multiple things in different scenes at all times, those are some of the best ones. Always more to watch on rewatch, I guess is my point. Captain, I love this name. Captain Relic, the brass dragon. That's awesome. Holy shit. We have a dragon in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. Saying, with Blumhouse's Five Nights at Freddy's movie and the upcoming Dead by Daylight movie, do you think we will get more horror video game adaptations? Yes, 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 yes. 100,000% yes. And why I say that is because it's not just horror that's booming with video game movies. It's all over the place. I mean, fuck, do I even have to go on this rant? I'm going to. The Sonic movies are making so much money. Mario is making so much money. They got to do a sequel to that. Come on. Five Nights at Freddy's made a shit ton of money. Dead by Daylight will definitely make a shit ton of money. Come on. We also already know about a bunch of horror movie video... oh my God. A bunch of horror video games being turned into movies again. So both Resident Evil and Silent Hill are getting new movie adaptations on top of new games as you do. I'm very excited for both of those. I think some people are just kind of done with the Resident Evil franchise, which I respect. But oh my God, Mila Jovovich, look, there's a reason I love those movies. That's all I'm going to say. Love those movies so much. I think they're so dumb, but so fun. I can recognize that they're bad and enjoy them. I'm okay with that's okay. Same with the Silent Hill movies. I don't think they're very good, but I very much so enjoy them. All 8 of those movies have a certain aesthetic that I just love. I can't get enough of them. There's something about that Thousands vibe with movies. It's so nostalgic for me. I'll admit that's the reason I like them so much. I'm a little biased, but banging, man. Yes, we will definitely get more horror video game movies without a doubt. Without a doubt. We're in a renaissance for that too. Horror's like making this big upswing right now. Video game movies, same thing, dude. It's awesome. I'm very happy. Matt M is bringing up something I'm also nervous about. Nervous about Thanksgiving being generic. I feel like being generic in this time of oversaturated media is worse than being bad. We can at least make fun of bad. You know, Matt, that's a really good point, man. You make a really strong argument here. I think the thing I'm worried about with Thanksgiving that was introduced in the trailer is that we're making it a modern slasher, which might be a good thing, after all. But I think the issue I have with it is it's like this was based off of Grindhouse, which was supposed to be this throwback to 70s, exploitation horror and all that, or not even just horror, just exploitation films in general. And now we're making it a modern slasher. I just don't know if that's going to work or not. I hope it does. I hope I'm dead wrong. I've heard very good reviews about Thanksgiving so far. So I don't think that's something to worry about. But I will admit, when I saw that I think it was the second trailer for the first time, I was like, ooh, what? We're using the killer's using Instagram? Like, what's up with that? I don't know how I feel about that. But I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be fun. This is not something I would criticize about a slasher if it wasn't Thanksgiving, by the way. Like, the only reason I'm criticizing that or thought kind of negatively in that regard was because Thanksgiving, it's from fucking from Grindhouse. I really thought it was going to be set in the 70s again and all that, but no. I think it's going to be good, though. I am very excited to see it, and I can't, dude, like I said, I can't wait for 24 hours from now. Holy shit. It's going to be fun. King Parham, thank you so much for your support this month, my dude. Saying, do you think they will remake the movie The People Under the Stairs? Jordan Peele was in talks to do a remake of this a while ago. Haven't heard any news about it though recently. Maybe something soon though. We'll just have to see, King Parham. I hope we get something. That would be a fun one to remake. Joey Green is saying, I don't see Thanksgiving sticking. The character already looks generic. You never know until you see it, Joey. You never know, man. You never know until we see it. I'm excited for it. A big reason too is Eli Roth's behind the camera. I trust the man with my life. Very underrated horror director in my opinion. So I have faith in Eli. But we'll see. We'll see, man. Brandon saying, should Hollywood and directors push boundaries further or pull back to avoid backlash? This is something we've been talking about a lot on this page. Why are we seeing horror films if they're not pushing boundaries? Like, what is the point of making a safe horror film? I can't see a point there. I think there's so many horror films that are just safe and, yes, make a lot of money, but is that really a horror film? I would argue against that. I think the whole point of horror should be to push boundaries, to make people feel uncomfortable. So yes, push boundaries, make people feel uncomfortable. I put out a tweet recently that was, if your goal as a horror director, horror writer is to scare people, and no one's offended by your film, you're doing something wrong. Just straight up, you're doing something wrong if people aren't offended by it. So many people are coming out of the woodwork saying, oh my God, like boycott Terrifier 3 because it's going to kill a child, maybe. First of all, we don't even know if that's going to happen. Second, I made a whole video about this Monday, so watch that if you don't want to hear this rant, but or hear this rant again. But man, like, yes, you might not want to see that in film, and I respect your opinion if that's the case. But we need to push boundaries. I'm never going to be against pushing boundaries, even if it's something that personally I don't want to see in a movie, because it's like, well, what does that look like on film? You know, what does that look like? I'm curious to know. As a horror fan, I want boundaries to be pushed. I want to feel uncomfortable. The movie Invisible Man made me think about a bad relationship that I was in years ago. And I'm not going to lie, I left that theater feeling really like fucked up. I didn't even want to go to sleep. I had like a live stream later that night after watching that movie 3 years ago. And I was just like, man. The whole time I was just in a weird funk, you know, but I love that. I love that movie made me feel uncomfortable. I like that feeling. I want to be terrorized by a movie, not in real life. But point being, horror should exist to make us uncomfortable. That's how it's a big point in the genre. Not every movie needs to do that, but when we lose that, what is horror then at that point? Like, is it really scary if it's not making us feel uncomfortable or not making us squirm in our seat? I don't know. I think it should. I think horror should make us feel emotional in one way or the other. Ella is saying, I don't know if this question was answered. Would if they remade Sinister and have Skinamarink's director do the tapes? Oh, that's fucking cool. What's your opinion on both of those movies? TBH, I think Sinister has lost potential. I think Sinister could have been this long-spanning franchise, similar to like something like The Conjuring or Insidious, but we just never got another one. You know, we got two of them, which honestly, while yes, 2 is a step down from the original, still a lot of fun. Still a good movie. I still recommend it. I think that Kyle Edward Ball from Skinamarink actually would do a great job with Sinister. I don't know if that would be, like, I don't know if you'd be down for that or not. Maybe, like, probably. I don't know the guy, you know? But if he did it, I'd be totally down. I think Skinamarink is one of the most iconic horror films to come out this year. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but back to the conversation we were just going to. If people aren't offended by your movie, maybe you're doing something wrong. Skinamarink, I fucking loved it personally. I think that they could have done a little more than just show us ceilings and floors for the majority of the runtime. But besides that, when the scary stuff happened, it's some of the scariest shit in a film that I've seen all year, personally. So I really enjoyed this one. I think Skinamarink is maybe one of the most underrated horror movies of the year. And it's super iconic. There are things from that movie that will stand the test of time and be like, Skinamarink, reference to that weird horror movie. I remember that. I love it. I think it's one I have to put on my shelf that I don't already have. And him doing Sinister 3, let's say, fuck yeah, I'm down for it. I'm actually really excited to see what Kyle does next after Skinamarink. You know, like what other tricks does he have up his sleeve? Because he's not going to do the same thing again, I imagine. Very curious, very, very curious to see what else he has going on. Joey Green is saying the Mortal Kombat movie could and should have been way better. Oh, Joey, man, I'm sorry, man. I just don't agree. I love the new Mortal Kombat movie. It's not perfect, but I think in terms of being a Mortal Kombat movie, I really enjoyed it. I don't know. Me personally, I seem to be in the minority about that one. A lot of people did not like the new Mortal Kombat, but I had a blast with it. The biggest sin that movie commits is creating a whole new character to focus on the majority of the movie. I don't understand that. I don't know why they would go down that route. I don't care about Cole Young like at all. Liu Kang should have been the star of it. But besides that one weird little hiccup with the story, I loved the rest of it. It was so cool to see a lot of Mortal Kombat 3 characters in there. The fatalities were disgusting. There's a lot of commentary on like the game itself, which was cool. The foot sweep. If you've ever played Mortal Kombat, you can just hide in a corner and keep foot sweeping people if they don't know how to jump, which they comment on that a little bit. I appreciated it. It was a fun movie. I really liked that they set up, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of that movie that was setting up a sequel, but all the stuff between Sub-Zero and Scorpion I thought was phenomenal writing. I really enjoyed that. But it's just, I'm very much so in the minority in that opinion. A lot of people do not like that 2021 Mortal Kombat, but I don't know. Me personally, I really enjoyed it. Bluck is saying Jake was in a relationship with an invisible man. Maybe. You don't know. He's invisible. How would you know, Blucka? How would you know? Come on. That's so funny. Denisha's here. What's up, Denisha? How's it going? Howdy. Hey, welcome on in, my friend. Thank you. Mike42 is saying, hopefully in the next year or so, we start to get rumblings of a new Freddy movie. We are so due for a proper Nightmare on Elm Street. Finding a great new Freddy is the challenge. Yeah, you know, I talked a little bit about this earlier in the year, and I still want to do more content on Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the biggest thing with a new Freddy movie is absolutely that, like getting the casting correct. And I think there's a few good choices out there. I've pitched a few. Some people have said like, oh, get Kevin Bacon to do it. And I don't know. For me, it's like, yes, Kevin Bacon would probably do a good job. Like, but I don't know. My thing is like, he's also up there. Like, he's not too far away from Robert Englund in age. I feel like it's just the same problem over again. Like, if it was 10 years ago and we were doing a Nightmare on Elm Street, then yes, Kevin Bacon 100%. But I don't know. Like, now in 2023, moving into 2024, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe we have the same problems with why Robert doesn't want to come back with Kevin Bacon. But personally, if that's the casting, you know, he ends up wanting to do it, I'm down for it. Like, fuck yeah. I pitched a few other people, though, that I think would also do a great job. Richard Brake, Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I know is a weird one, but I think he would make an excellent Freddy Krueger. And he's no stranger to horror. He's been in The Strangers. See what I did there? He was in The Strangers, and he's also in The Hunt, too. But is that what it's called? The Hunt from 2020? I forgot about that movie until I just said it. What do you know? What do you know? Jonathan Hayden is with us tonight. What's up, Jonathan? Saying, I'd love to see the slasher genre making a comeback. Me too. I'm excited for Thanksgiving. It's going to be awesome carnage candy, 100%. Wish we would get more winter and snow setting slashers. Well, that's going to be fixed real soon here, Jonathan. Let me tell you. Oh, I mean, we know Terrifier 3 now is going to be a Christmas horror film. And rumor has it, Scream 7, same department, going to be a holiday-themed slasher film. Which I'm down, honestly, I'm so down for when it comes to Scream. A lot of people have wanted Christmas Scream or holiday Scream for a long time now, and I'm very down for that. I also think that Ghostface in the snow would be such a striking image, that black robe against like white snow. Like, oh my God. I would do anything to film something like that. Like, that would be so much fun. Ugh. Rob's Eclectic Media, great choice of words there, saying, when is that beautiful Terrifier 3 poster getting framed and filling that void? Oh my God, you're so right. I forgot about that. Well, I have it right here on my desk, which I have to do something with it. I used it for today's video, which I think was funny. I don't know. I'm always just like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let's do it. I do got to get all those things framed, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, Rob. So I will get around to it as soon as possible, because I have another thing that I want to put up on this over here too. I want to put the Terrifier 3 poster like right there. You guys don't give a shit, but I don't care. I'm going to tell you anyways. I also have something signed from Damien Leone that I want to put like back there. I actually might put it here and then move the creature poster back, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I just redid all of this back here, this whole part of my set, so I'm like, I got to redo the other side too. So working on it, Rob, but thank you for reminding me. I'm going to get on that as soon as possible. I love your name, by the way. Eclectic. That's one of my favorite words. I love that. Good stuff, Rob. But soon, I promise. Sometime very soon. I also have an Evil Dead Rise poster that I got at the screening, so that actually might go up here too. I'm not sure. I have so many posters, dude. Like, I remember, I wish I could show you guys, but I went to like Cinemark one night after I can't remember what I was seeing. Fuck, it was something earlier in the year. And I remember just asking the people, like, just on a whim, I'm like, do you guys have any like horror posters that I could just take? And like the manager was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh. She's like, just wait in the lobby for like 2 minutes. And she came out, she had like a Studio 666 poster, a black phone poster with the wrong release date on it, which was sick. And then what was that movie from like, oh my God, it was one of those possession movies. I can't remember. I don't have that poster anymore, but I still have those up on the walls too, and I don't know what to do with them. I can't get them in the set anywhere. I just don't have enough wall space, unfortunately. Villain Killing Dylan's throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much, VKD. I appreciate your support. Saying, what if in T3 we get a mall scene? Art sits in Santa's lap with the shit-eating grin on his face and starts pissing him off. Dude, nothing would make me happier. I think that would be so cool. You know, here's the other thing, too. If you're reading this right now and you're just like, Jesus, that would be expensive. Well, don't forget, we have like a budget this time around that's at least 4 times as much as the previous film. We can play around with things like a shopping mall setting. I mean, when you really think about it, Terrifier 2's locations were nothing that special. The circus was cool. Like, don't get me wrong, that was kind of sick for like the one scene, and then we're inside the Terrifier for the third act. But I mean, the settings weren't anything too crazy in that last film because of, you know, the lower budget. Now we have somewhere between like 1 and 5 million or whatever is what they said. So at least 4 times the budget of the previous film, which was $250K. We could totally do things like closing down a shopping mall for like a day or two so that they could film something like this. Maybe that's where he gets the Santa costume from. I don't know. Point being, I'm very excited to see if they do end up doing something like this. I imagine the settings in the next film will be a lot more intricate and fun, as well as the kills, because of course, when you have more money, you can do these fun things. So I'm very excited. I'm VKD, dude. I can't wait, man. I think it's going to be great. And I think something like that is in our future. I can't imagine that Art the Clown would go a whole holiday movie without killing someone in a Santa costume. Let's be honest here. So yes, I think you're onto something. I'm smelling what you're stepping in, and I'm picking it up. That doesn't make any sense. Villain Killing Dylan, thanks for the $5 though. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, thank you. My mouse just decided to turn off randomly, so I can't do shit. There we go. Luddy Network is saying all that white snow with a red right hand. Hell yeah, dog. You know it, man. Scream 7. I really hope it does have that. The snowy setting, man. That would make the whole movie for me. Ghostface in the snow, always something I wanted to see. That would be really cool if they end up doing that. Bill Cartwright's here, and also a member. Thanks for being part of the cult. We appreciate you. Saying, I hope Christina Carpenter is not shoehorned into the story as some behind-the-scenes mastermind these last few movies. I'm with you, dude. If that's the case, just bring back Stu and make it him. Oh, you know, you had me in the first half, Bill, but you lost me in the back half. I'm totally kidding. I'm messing with you. But yes, I'm with you, dude. I think making Christina Carpenter a killer or even a character in the next movie is just so predictable. And that's what's great about Scream, is that they're usually not predictable. So I don't know, man. Make Scream 7 exciting. Make it something we're not expecting. I don't want to see Christina Carpenter, man. That's so expected. I feel like that's like everyone has that take. You know what I mean? There's not one person who hasn't thought about that watching the new Scream movies. Is when is this character going to come into the franchise, you know? So I don't know, man. I just think that I have really no interest in seeing the character because there's really nothing, there's not really any unfinished business with Christina Carpenter. We know that she's a shit mom who didn't even care to talk to her own daughter that much after she got stabbed, which is like, what? That sucks. Christina Carpenter was like, what's the line from Scream 5 that Amber says? She's like, oh yeah, she was on the phone with her mom for less than 10 minutes. I'm like, fuck this mom character, dude. What? And apparently she's like at London because of work. Oh, she got stuck at a conference. Dude, I don't give a shit, man. If someone in my immediate family got stabbed and almost killed by some random asshole who was still out on the loose, I would drop everything I was doing and get back there. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Fuck Christina Carpenter, dude. Like, no way. I don't want to see some plot line where her and Tara and Sam, they're all like getting together and they're all a big happy family now. No way, dude. Christina Carpenter, sorry, dog. You dog, you crossed the line and you kind of ruined the whole family. I'm just gonna be honest. The mom, I just don't care for this character. I don't know. I just don't think she should come back, and I don't want to see her as Ghostface because that would be predictable too. So no love for this character for me personally. I want to see something else. I want to see something that I'm not expecting. Rob is saying, hey, respect my dude, my brother. I appreciate you, man. You're one of the first to really appreciate my screen name. I am a new subscriber and was dying to catch a live stream for once. I love the content. Thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate it, man. I love your profile picture too, if it means anything. Looks very nice and I want to say concrete, but that's not the right word. Uniform. That's right. Uniform. It's very uniform. I like it. Very cool stuff, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for joining in on the live stream too, man. Get to talk a little horror live with people. This is like my favorite part of my job. I wish I could just do this all day. I would. I really would just do that. I would just do this if I could. Oh my God. So much fun. Villain Killing Dylan is saying as a Christmas child. Ooh, shit. Okay. Born on Christmas. That's crazy. I've never been more excited for a horror film. Scream 7 and Terrifier 3. Ooh, it's going to be badass, man. And we might just get them back to back next year too, which if that happens, like if next December, let's say it gets announced that, well, not December, but Terrifier 3 will come out in October and we'll probably get it, released on Screambox in December. But if we get both of these movies very close to each other, it's going to be pandemonium, dude. I can't fucking wait. Like, that would be sweet. That would be a lot of fun if we got both of them back to back. Jake would probably have no time to sleep, but oh man, I would not be complaining too much. I'll tell you that much. Oh, I'm excited. Stupid Fizz is saying Studio 666 is so fucking underrated. It's a lot of fun, and unfortunately, the last thing we got from Taylor Hawkins, man. A fucking shame. That last, technically not the last, but the last one with the full group, their last album. I love that. Foo Fighters 2022 album is so fucking good. Like, that is one of my, that's up there for thrash albums, man. Ugh. They just don't, no one makes thrash metal anymore, which is a shame. And it was so cool that they did that. Like the Foo Fighters of all bands. I'm like, shit, okay. I love thrash metal. Like Megadeth, early Metallica. Love that shit. Can't get enough of it. Mike is saying, I don't get the want from everyone to see Christina Carpenter have a big role in Seven. That would just take time away from what? From what, Mike? Oh my God, we're left on a cliffhanger, just like how we might be with Scream 7. Kidding. No, I mean, I agree with you though, man. I think it would just take away from the characters we already have established that could use more character defining. So why add in this other character that honestly I don't care that much about, I don't know, just my thoughts. Captain Rylick, the Brass Dragon, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a dragon in the chat, is saying, also, thanks for the compliments about my name and profile picture. I actually commissioned someone to make art for my PFP because I love dragons. Hell yeah, dog. I really dig it. I see that he's got like a bandana around his neck, but I think he has a Starbucks cup. Is that what it is? I love that. That's fucking sweet, dude. I love the headphones, too. That's really cool. Dope. Very good stuff. Very good stuff, man. I like it a lot. Trevon is saying still waiting on that ghost ship video. Oh man, I make too many promises on these live streams that I cannot keep. I got to stop doing that. But I would love to talk about Ghost Ship at some point. A really interesting and kind of underrated movie that I personally really enjoy. You want a movie that has a really good opening scene? Bam, Ghost Ship. Solid stuff. I really enjoyed that one though. Oh, Mike, let's finish this. Would just take time away from the core four, Sydney, etc. They probably will introduce her, but hoping it's a small role. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like if she's in it, small role at best, dude. I don't want to see her make up with Tara and Sam. I don't want to see her be Ghostface either. Do we really want another Scream 3? Like, I like Scream 3, but do we really want another one? Do we really want another? Like, we kind of already got another Scream 2 and Scream 6. I feel like it's different enough, but it's a little similar. And I don't know. I just don't feel like these movies need to be that close. I'm down for Familiar. There's a difference between Familiar and just doing the same thing. And I think Scream 6 just barely is Familiar and not the same thing. Because I like that they add more to the conversation, which is what's so important to me about 6. It's not the same. It's not the same thing as Mrs. Loomis. Because it's more about like attacking her character before they kill her, which in my opinion is way more vicious than what Mrs. Loomis did. So I don't know. My opinion, Wayne Bailey greater than Mrs. Loomis, but that's a hot take. It's a hot take. Apparently, people don't like when I say that shit. People are all very defensive of Laurie Metcalf. Man, I don't know. I really think that it's strange that the Scream franchise thinks that parents who lost their children would act like goofy cartoon characters. I don't really get. I know people, unfortunately, which is fucking awful, that have lost a child. That's not how they act. I don't know. I don't know who had that experience with a parent that unfortunately had to go through that awful thing, but they don't act like cartoon characters. I can tell you that much. So it just takes me out of it. Like if Mrs. Loomis's motive was anything else, it might work for me, but just her performance in that movie is just so weird. Same thing with Detective Bailey though. Like Detective Bailey is also just so over the top, and with his performance, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Just does not work for me. If it was more like Toni Collette in Hereditary, or like, that's the best example I could come up with off the top of my head. The Babadook too, the mom in The Babadook, I feel like gives a really good performance. She lost a husband, which is like a little different, but still kind of the same idea. Grief, that's more that works for me. Where I don't know if Mrs. Loomis and Detective Bailey do, but it's weird, man. It's strange. I can see having a goofy killer. Like, that works for me, but the motive clashes with it. I don't know. Wrestling God is saying, I got a question for you. Did you see the teases on the novel for the, novel from the convention a month ago about Michael Myers? It said something about the festival and evil or whatnot. or whatnot we watch a movie. I don't know. I'm sorry, dog. I don't know what you're talking about, my dude. But Wrestling God, thanks for being here, my friend. I do not know anything about a novel from a convention. I do know that there's some kind of there is some new Halloween novel like in the works, though. If that's what you're talking about, I have heard about that. Very interested to see that, though. And something else I'll talk about Halloween novel wise. If you haven't seen Halloween Ends, if you haven't read the Halloween Ends novelization, I kind of recommend reading it, especially if you're someone like me who wasn't crazy about it. In a lot of ways, I think the novel is just a way better structured story than what the movie ended up being. First and foremost, it starts differently, which was very important to me. I hate that we just start that movie with a random new thing that's happening. So I don't know. I really, the novelization was better. It's still not, a 10 out of 10, but it's interesting. Interesting stuff. It's worth a read, especially, like I said, if you're someone who didn't care for Halloween Ends. Worth a read. Logan Evans is saying, do you think we could possibly see a sequel to Drive-Thru from 2007? Man, in this age of of everything getting a sequel, yes. I mean, Pumpkinhead is getting a sequel. That's crazy to me. Like, there's already 5 Pumpkinhead movies, and I think one of them is worth your time. But man, we're getting a sequel to that. We just got an Orphan prequel. We might be getting another one. We might be getting a 3rd Orphan film, dude. So anything is possible. At this point, anything is possible. I think we could get a sequel to any movie out there. So yeah, fuck it. Why not? And any horror film that had any remote bit of success in the past, will probably get some kind of sequel or continuation these days. Which, I think some people hear that and they're like, oh, well, that sucks. That's cheap. But some of these are good. Like, some of these continuations are great. I actually really enjoyed Orphan First Kill. Am I racing to watch it again anytime soon? No. But I had a fun time with it. And I think it's a worthy continuation of that first one. So I don't know, man. I bring that movie up a lot when I'm talking about ridiculous continuations that probably didn't need to happen, but I'm glad it did. I enjoy Orphan First Kill. It's a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, by the way, check it out. It once again has a good twist. That was my big thing with an Orphan continuation just in general. How would they do a twist? How could they do another one? They find a way in the prequel. And I'm like, damn, okay. I was wrong. I was like, shit, you guys got me. That was pretty good. Some pretty solid stuff from that one. I don't know. Marley Kai? Marley Kai 2000. What's up, dog? How you doing? Also, kind of a sick profile picture. Damn. Would you rather fave Art the Clown or the UFO in Nope? Would I rather fave them? Face them? Like, would I rather fight? Who would I rather fight? I would probably rather fight the UFO. Hot take. Just because, like, all you got to do to avoid that is just look down. Just don't look at it. I could do that. I could walk away, not looking at a gigantic UFO-shaped creature in the sky. I could make that happen. Art the Clown, I'm fucked. Like, there's no way I'm living through that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if Art the Clown's coming after me, I'm dead. And it's not going to be an easy death either. I could look away from the fucking thing in the sky. You know what I mean? I think I could do that personally. But oh my God, Art the Clown, no way. That is the last guy I would want to be in a room with. Captain Rylick. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really trying here. I'd love a slasher film set in a fantasy setting. We have modern slashers and sci-fi ones. Give us a fantasy slasher. I dig that. Or even slashers set in historical settings like medieval Europe or 800s Arabia. Ooh, okay. Fantasy slasher, that's really interesting to me. I mean, like, setting it in like a Lord of the Rings setting or something like that. That could be fun. That actually could be a lot of fun. I'm very into that. That's very experimental. Once again, you're mashing subgenres together, which is like, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It's experimental, but I'm into it. I mean, if someone announced tomorrow that, like, they're going to do a fantasy set slasher movie, I would watch it. I would have to watch it. I'm like, that's horror. That's right there. That's horror history, man. Do something new like that. I can't think of a fantasy slasher off the top of my head. Can you? Is there one? Like, am I missing something? I don't know. I'd be down for it though, for sure. Logan Evans is asking about Eli Roth's Clown, an underrated movie big time. I really enjoy this. Not directed by Eli Roth, but produced. And I believe he had a hand creatively in the film, too. It feels like an Eli Roth movie, is what I'll say. Clown is a really good movie. It's very underrated. Not enough people talk about this one, in my opinion. I don't want to say any more than that because I don't want to spoil it, but oh my God, is it dark and fucked up. You know what else I'll say? Okay, here's another thing. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's and you like the aesthetic of like a Chuck E. Cheese or something like that being a setting, there's a certain sequence in this movie that will make you come, basically. It's fucking crazy. It's like, I can't believe how fucked up this sequence is. I want to throw up thinking about that certain scenes in that movie. But I really enjoy it. Relic. It's pronounced Relic. Captain Relic, the Brass Dragon. I'm so sorry. I'll never get it wrong. Captain Relic. I'll never get it wrong again. Brandon the Beldam is saying I totally watch a 3-hour Terrifier film. I would too. I hope Terrifier 3 is 3 hours, man. I hope it's 4 hours. Fuck it. Oh my God. You know, we had a lot of people complain about the runtime with the last one, but man, I'm not against long movies. If movies have to be that long to tell the story that they're trying to tell, fuck yeah. I think Terrifier 2 is appropriately lengthed. And it's got some girth to it too. I can't stop with the sexual innuendos. Look at that, Brandon. But fuck yes. Fuck yes to longer Terrifier films. Let's run it. Let's make it happen. Noah Atkinson is saying Friday the 13th, 2025, with a release date of June 13th, 2025 is perfect. It would be. It would be. They'd have to probably start working on it now to get that out by that time. But you never know. Anything's possible. The rights aren't as up in the air as they used to be. So there is that, Noah. It might happen. It might happen. I hope so, man. I want more than just the Crystal Lake series. I'll tell you that much. But I have an update on Crystal Lake, by the way, is there was I can't remember who it was. Somebody from the production was on a podcast talking a little bit about was it not, what's her name? What's the final girl's name? I can't remember. Someone was on a podcast recently talking about Crystal Lake, and they were saying like, oh, you know, it's going to be different, but we're working hard to make it good. And that worries me. That worries me. I'm down for a weird Friday the 13th series. I am, but we haven't seen Jason on the big screen since 2009. I want to see Jason killing people. If you're going to title something Friday the 13th right now, it better be Jason killing people or I'm going to be disappointed. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe after 3 Jason movies and I'm sick of Jason, then I'm down for some more obscure shit. But after 14 years, I'm not seeing Jason on the big screen. I'm hungry for that hockey mask wearing killer cutting into some fucking camp counselors. That's what I want to see. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I want to see first and foremost before anything else. Let me put it this way. You can do your Halloween Ends idea after you've given us 2 Michael movies, but you're starting off with Halloween Ends. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. So Crystal Lake, I'm very, very worried about. I don't know how much excitement I have for the series because it just sounds like they're going to do a Pamela Voorhees drama versus an actual slasher thing. And I don't know if I'm into that. I don't know if that's a story that needs to be told. Star Fox Gaming is saying, what are your feelings towards found footage films? I love them. And analog horror, I also love. Do you think in the next 2 to 3 analog will be the slasher genre? Oh, like next 2 to 3 years. Here's what I'll say. Analog horror is absolutely on the rise. I think some people would call like, this is more found footage, but I think people would call like Skinamarink analog horror. I think people would call the Outwaters arguably analog horror, even though maybe that falls into found footage more or less. But those are standout horror films from this year, whether you like them or not. They're big. They do things very differently than other horror films have done in the past. I love one of those movies and I disliked the other one, for instance. But I respect both of them big time because they both are trying things out in experimental ways, and I appreciate that. Once again, horror needs to push boundaries, or is it really even horror? So in the next 2 to 3 years, will that be kind of like the next big thing? Maybe. I mean, we have, last we heard that Kane Pixel's character out there who has that Backroom series was working on a feature film with A24. So that might be something big moving into maybe next year when that possibly happens. Who knows when the release date is for that? I don't think we have a release date yet, but I know that they tried to, I think they filmed it over the summer, if I'm remembering correctly. So Backroom's horror movie, it's coming out soon. That could be what kicks it off. You know, that's kind of one of the biggest things from that category. So yeah, I think absolutely that could be big. I think slashers are going to be pretty big for a little while though, for at least the next couple of years. I think they're going to have once again their time in the sun, even though they already definitely have. But little resurgence doesn't hurt. Who's complaining about that, man? I'm always down for more slasher movies. Sammy Verse is saying, do you think there should be more child-centric horror films in the veins of Coraline, Corpse Bride, and Gremlins? Yeah. Gateway horror is very important. You know, I mean, us, I'm talking about myself like I'm old. Us old-timers, you know, me, 25 years old, so old. We can get into some of the more fucked up shit. But, you know, for instance, I have a nephew named Troy, shout out to Troy, who's just getting into horror. And I'm showing him things that are a little less, you know, like not as crazy. Like Halloween 4, I feel like is really not that scary of a movie. And I bought that for him recently, and I showed him that. I figured he would love that because it's like, it's a kid versus Michael Myers. I'm like, fuck yeah, he's going to love this. So yeah, there's a lot of great gateway horror films to get, you know, the younger generation into it. If the younger generation isn't getting into horror films, why are we doing all this? You know, why are we making movies? Why are we talking about these movies? Because, you know, we don't want it to die out. We don't want, you know, 20 years from now there's not any horror films. That would suck. Like that would blow. So yes, gateway horror is very important. I love that we have movies like all the ones that you've listed below, which I personally love all of them. Coraline is one of my favorite gateway horror movies ever. Like, I think that is such a scary fucking concept done in a way that is not only still scary for kids, but also tells a great story. Like, it's the thing about a lot of gateway horror. Sometimes it's just like, it has the aesthetic, but it's not really scary. It doesn't really tell a good story. Well, what's great about horror, in my opinion, is that you can tell these great and emotional stories with otherworldly, supernatural, fucked up shit that you might not see in other films. It almost feels taboo for that reason. And to tap into that idea at a young age for kids, like I say yes, that's very important. It's a very important thing. Gateway horror, I'm never going to say we don't need. The one thing I will praise about, well, there's a few things I'll praise about Five Nights at Freddy's, but I love that we have a gateway horror film that's so popular right now. I might not have liked it, but I'm very glad that it's popular and a lot of younger people are very into it. I think 90% of the audience of that film was under the age of 35, if I'm remembering correctly, for people who went to go see it. So to me, that's a success. That means people 20 years from now might still be watching horror films. And that makes me a happy camper. Legion, what is up, dog? Welcome in. Appreciate you. Saying Scream X in space, and at the end, Ghostface becomes Uber Ghostface. Half mask, half Stu Mocker battle damage look. Boom. There you go. You know what? If they're going to bring Stu back, you might as well do it in Scream X, where we go to space. That's when I think it'll be acceptable to have Stu come back. There's no return from that shit. I mean, look at Jason X, you know? We had to remake the franchise before we got shit back on track, so I don't know. Me personally, yeah, that's when you can bring Stu back. That's when you can do your fan fiction, essentially. But but can we just keep it serious for a little while longer? Just a little bit, Then we can have Scream. Then we can have Stu come back and be this crazy killer. Oh man, you know what else, Stu? I mean, we just got basically a Stu reveal in Five Nights at Freddy's. Does that not quench our thirst for a ridiculous reveal at the end of something? Come on. I say yes. I hope yes. Oh, man. Miguel is asking about Human Centipede. Hot take, I think the first one is a really well-done psychological horror film, and I feel like the sequels are what people think the Terrifier franchise is. I mean, the point of 2 and 3 is just to gross you out, and I can't even get through them because I think they're so disgusting. But that first one actually is a really compelling story. Like, it's maybe not well acted all the time, but I think the main character, like the doctor, is a really compelling character. I think he's really upsetting, and, you know, it is a gross movie. But once again, through the medium of something so disgusting like that, we can tell a psychological horror story that's actually done well in the first one. So for me personally, I think so many people think Human Centipede is like this gross out horror movie. The sequels are absolutely that, and I think they're unwatchable. I would not recommend 2 or 3, but the first one actually has some substance to it. I really enjoyed that first one. But the sequels are like what people think Terrifier is. No substance, just here to gross you out. I just don't care for the sequels at all. I don't think they're worth anybody's time. But that first one, pretty interesting. Tells a good story, in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. But I really enjoyed that first one. Among Sussy Sonic. What a name. Well, 10 out of 10 for creativity there. Well, what if Blumhouse and Sega made a Sonic.exe movie? I don't know what Sonic.exe is, but I'm assuming it's something really fucked up if you're expecting Blumhouse to be involved. I I don't know what that is, once again, but maybe. You know, you never know. You never know what they're going to turn into a horror story, man. And that's the exciting things about the horror genre. We have a Winnie the Pooh. We had a Winnie the Pooh horror movie come out recently, and a sequel is already like filmed and in the can. So you never know what's going to turn into horror, man. You really never know. Leighton Gamer is asking about Addison Rae and Thanksgiving. I have not seen it yet, but I'm going to check it out tomorrow. I hope she does good. A lot of people seem to hate Addison Rae. I don't really know why. I don't follow the drama of celebrities, so I don't really know. I'm pretty stupid in this regard. I couldn't tell you. Some people really hate Addison Rae. I don't know why. She is just a famous person in my mind. Maybe she did something really awful, but I just don't know about it. So no comment in that regard. But I hope she does well in the lead role of Thanksgiving. I hope she sells it. I hope she kills it. I've seen people like that go from, either musician, TikTok star, whatever, into movies, and they have a good translation. One of the best examples, I think, in most recent memory is Kid Cudi in X. I think he's amazing in that movie. He's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. Gives a really good performance in that movie. So some people, like, they hear that. They're like, oh, Kid Cudi's going to be in a movie that's going to be terrible. And I'm like, give the guy a chance at least. Like, oh my God. A lot of like artists who do other things like end up in movies. And sometimes, they're not. Sometimes, they don't make the translation. They don't know what they're doing. They're kind of just there for the name. But sometimes, like Kid Cudi in X gives a good performance, man. For me personally, I look at who the director is going to be. Who's the director? Who's the writer? That those two terms, I can tell you if the movie's going to be good or not. I feel like actors are in a secondary category, which might be a hot take. Acting's very important. Don't get me wrong, but under the right director, anybody can act. That's a hot take too, I guess. But under the right director, I think certain people can be great. Kristen Stewart is someone who I personally think is very hit or miss. Hot take. I think she is a great actress under the right director. And in David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future, she's fucking excellent. Oh my God, she's so good. Like, phenomenal in that movie. Show stealing. But I don't know. Like, in some of the other things I've seen her in, I'm not crazy about her performance. But I don't know. For me, acting is a very important facet to movies. Don't get me wrong. But under the right director, anybody can act. Is how I feel about it. All right. Anyways, Joe Steele is saying, when is that Terrifier 3 poster going on that door? We've had 2 people asking about that now. I promise it's happening very soon. I want to get everything framed. Like these are just taped up with like Scotch tape right now. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. So I want to get everything framed and put them up, but frames are fucking expensive, Joe. Like, I can't believe how expensive frames were. This back here, like to get that Red Right Hand poster framed, that was like $45. What? It's wood and glass. How is that $45 for that? That's insane. But yeah, the frame, I want 4 posters up here all framed. It's going to be a little expensive. So I'm waiting until I actually have money. So soon, very soon, I promise. It's happening. What else do we got going on? Jake, did you play the new Spider-Man 2 video game? If you haven't already, buy it or play it. You got to do a live stream about it. I would love to. I don't know if people on this channel would be down for that, but I would love to play that game. I loved the first one. I haven't played the Miles Morales DLC actually, which I really wanted to. I loved the first one though. The 2018 game is fantastic. One of my favorite video games in recent memory. I really don't have time for video games anymore. I used to play them all the time. I was addicted to Call of Duty when I was in high school. Yeah, I was one of those. I know. I was one of those kids who drank Mountain Dew on the weekends, played some COD. I was actually fucking insane. Like I would destroy some fucking noobs and shit. Oh my God. I'm so old. Goddamn. But point being, I used to play video games all the time. Now I just don't have time for it. But in most recent memory, I played that game, the first Spider-Man, and Doom from 2016, which is one of the best video games I've ever played. If you like first-person shooters and you haven't played Doom, like the new one, you're missing out. One of the best first-person shooters I've ever played in my whole life. So fun. I plan on playing it again at some point. Oh my God, that was fun. Barb is with us tonight. What's up, Barb? How's it going? How's it going? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you. Me and Barb hung out at Scarefest a couple weeks ago. Very fun time. That was like a month ago now, I think. Jesus. Time flies, man. Time flies. Richard B with some fancy ass text. I dig it, Richard. Saying, I really hope Art doesn't end up being Sienna's father. I'm with you, dude. That would be like such a cop-out, dude. I think a lot of people are kind of thinking that right now, too. They're like, well, what's up with the dad? He's apparently dead. He's probably Art the Clown. No, come on. That would be such a cop-out, man. No way is that the case. Damian Leone, I hope you're listening to this. No, but seriously, come on. That can't be it. I think Damien actually even commented on that recently, saying, no, that's not what it is. There's more to it than that. Which I think the best reveals lead you to believe one thing, like that, for instance. Like, you might be thinking right now, oh, it's probably the dad. That's who Art the Clown is. But then throw something else at you. You know, those are the best reveals. Think about Scream. You know, I mean, this is so simple, but like they make you think it's just Billy Loomis the whole time. Well, little did you know, it's actually Billy and Stu. Oh. Reveal. So shocking. So I appreciate that. All right, dog. Among Sussy Sonic, you got to stop putting that in the chat. I don't know what Sonic.exe is. I couldn't tell you. Please don't spam the chat, my friend, or I'll have to block you, which I don't want to do that. Oh my God, dude, you're putting it in there a lot. Jesus Christ. What if Blumhouse did that? I don't fucking know what it is, so I hope they don't do it now, if I'm being honest. Captain Relic is saying, since you asked earlier, the logo on my PFP's latte says Bahamut Bucks. Oh, okay. That's a D&D god. I played D&D a long time ago, but it's been a minute. Do you have any advice on horror storytelling for a horror D&D campaign I might run? Here's what I'll say. I've done a couple of D&D campaigns in my time of being a nerd, as I am. What I'll say, that the best ones are always the ones that, like, as a dungeon master, don't just stick to the script. You know, I think so many people are like, oh, well, this is going to set up this next thing. Sometimes the people in your campaign are going to take it down a totally different path, and you might find that that's way more fun. So in terms of being a dungeon master, just kind of let the group determine where it's going to go. If people are more interested in this other aspect to your campaign versus something else, just roll with it. That's going to be more fun for everybody involved. And then you get to make shit up on the fly, which is very fun. We used to do D&D at my house like every Monday. That was like a thing for a little while. And like I sometimes, you know, it'd just be like, oh, we're kind of just doing the same thing over and over and over again, which kind of blows. So just run with it, have fun, see where the group wants to take it if you're a DM. Thoughts on VHS 85? Logan, I also did a review for this last month. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's a bit of a step down from the previous two films, but not by much. I still enjoyed it. I gave it a 7 out of 10, which I still would agree with. It's still a 7 out of 10 in my mind. I really love the VHS movies. Like, they're very fun. The skits are hit or miss, for sure. But that's kind of like the fun of it, in my opinion. It's like, is this one going to work? Is this one going to be fun? Or is it just going to be meh? I love that, though. I think that's so much fun. These movies are so, like, they're low budget to make, too. We got another one coming out next October. I hope they just keep making them. Why not? Like, they're low budget. They always have different directors and people in charge. I say just keep making them until people lose interest. VHS 98 also had, like, a killer opening on Shudder, just like how VHS 94 did. And I don't know, me personally, VHS 99, very underrated. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people hated it when it came out. I fucking loved it. The last 3 sketches I think are phenomenal. Like, some of my favorites from the whole thing. Flying Lotus is a director on that one too. He does the middle segment, and I think it's one of my favorite VHS segments of all time. It is so gross in all the right ways. And it's got a lot to say too. It's got a little bit of commentary in there too, which I liked. But VHS 98, I think the last 2 segments are fantastic. Some of the other stuff going on in that one I wasn't crazy about, but VHS 98 I think is more miss than hit, but the ones that hit are phenomenal. Like the Scott Derrickson one and the David Bruckner segment are, I think, maybe top 10s from the whole franchise. So I really enjoyed those. It's a really fun one, but like I said, maybe a bit of a step down from the previous 2. Had no idea it was so freaking spency. I like that, spency. It's a frame. It is, for like no reason. Like, it's like that's not even real glass, dog. Like that's not real. Come on, that's plastic. I don't know. Shit's crazy, man. Inflation sucks. Have you heard that there will be a Chucky versus Megan movie? I heard that they might do that in the series, which, once again, totally down for. Like, if they're going to do a crossover of 2 things, these are both very campy, goofy franchises. Put them together, see what happens. Oh my God, Barb, you've been a member for 5 months. I greatly appreciate your support, my friend. Thank you. Jake, are you doing Horror Hound in March? I'm in. I will absolutely try to be there. I'm going to try to do 2 horror conventions a year moving forward, because Horror Hound and Scarefest this year is some of the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. And I don't use that lightly, because I've had a lot of fun. I don't mean to be full of myself, but I've had a lot of fun in this life. These 25 years have been pretty fucking crazy. So both of those events were just so much fun. I got to meet so many great people. And you know, some of my heroes in horror as well. So I'm going to try to make it out to at least 2 of these a year, because oh my God, that was so much fun like a month ago. I wish I could go back to Scarefest. So many great conversations. I don't know, just man, wouldn't trade it for the world. I will absolutely try to be there for sure though, because fuck, Horror Hound was by far my favorite convention. Not that Scarefest was bad, but Horror Hound was just, oh my God, it was just nonstop the whole time. Met so many fun people. So the beer was great too, which I know is such a weird thing to say was a lot of fun, but they have these killer clown beers, which I think are just delicious, very tasty. I don't drink too much anymore, but do love me a good beer from time to time. Logan Evans is saying for a good time shark horror movie, I would definitely recommend Nightmare Shark. Fuck yeah, dude. Nightmare Shark. Let's go. Is this like Freddy Krueger if he was a fucking shark? I'm into it. I'm so down. Let's run it. Let's run it, Logan. I dig it, man. Sienna's dad was never killed in a car crash. Sienna was lied to. He was murdered by Art the Clown on Christmas Eve. Ooh, good theory. I actually kind of vibe with that. You know, that is something that was left pretty vague in the last movie. It could have been staged by Art the Clown. You know, he likes to be a little goofball like that. So maybe he staged it. But, you know, there is other elements to the father character that we know that would make sense if that's what happened. I can't say the word, but he did this to himself. So I feel like he actually did, you know, to himself. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you might be onto something though, VKD. I like that. Bride of Chucky is also your favorite Child's Play movie. Totally fair. That's one of the better ones, without a doubt. Child's Play 2 will always be my favorite, but Bride of Chucky, also fantastic. Like, oh, that's a fun one. Very silly. That's kind of when the franchise started to be like, yeah, okay, we're goofy. Let's lean into it. I like the unintentional humor of the first 3 Child's Play movies, though, so much more. There's something about that I really value. And in 2, I feel like it's done the best. Like, it's just so funny without being in your face about it. Mr. SCP is saying, I'm here, Jakey boy. I'm so happy you're here, Mr. SCP. I'm assuming that's in reference to, I can't remember what SCP stands for, but isn't that the thing where it's like it's all the fucking like the messed up like monsters and shit? It's like a list online of all that shit. I've read about this. I haven't like looked into it as much as I would like to, but if that's what you're referring in the title there, your little handle, your moniker, some would say, I dig it. I'm a fan. Am I reacting to the Imaginary trailer? You know what's really funny about that? Dijon, if that's your name, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Didn't the director of that, Jeff Wadlow, didn't he say something like, oh, the trailer for it is like made up in your head? That's scary. I thought that was so gimmicky, man. I was like, what are you talking about, dog? Yeah, when the trailer drops, though, I'm absolutely going to react to it. Dude, I totally forgot to react to the Ghostbusters trailer. I was going to do content on that, and I just never did. I don't know, slipped my mind. Loved that trailer, though. If you guys haven't seen the new Ghostbusters trailer, I'm genuinely blown away by it. Like, I was like, wow, this is really intriguing, and I feel like it didn't show us too much about what the movie's going to be about. So, I don't know. Me personally, very excited for the new Ghostbusters. I'm way more excited for it than Afterlife, even. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't care. New York in the snow, that's been a popular topic lately on this channel. I'm very excited for it, man. But Imaginary, yes, I will be checking that one out as well. That comes out in March of next year. We have a lot of interesting Blumhouse movies. I have little faith in Blumhouse projects right now, but a lot of interesting stuff coming from them. We have Night Swim in January, which looks pretty good, but could be bad. And Imaginary, I don't know, man. Is that going to be good or not? After what the director said about it, I already have some negative connotations. But maybe it's good. Maybe I'm totally wrong. We haven't seen anything from the movie yet. Only what's up in our minds, our imaginations. So maybe it's good. I don't know. But I'm going to rip on it a little bit. I can't help it. Anyways, Barb has gifted a KillJoy Jake membership. Holy shit. Gifted it to Brandon the Beldam. Thank you so much, Barb. Really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Brandon saying thank you. I'm saying thank you. We all appreciate you, Barb. Thank you so much. We appreciate the heck out of you. You're a big supporter in the KillJoy community. Oh my God, Scorpion's here. Get over here. I'm back from the Nether Realm. It's your boy, Hanzo. Dude, if Scorpion ever says that in a movie, I'll lose my mind. It's your boy. Hell yeah, Scorpion's here. Fuck yeah, dog. Welcome in. Appreciate you. I'm a big fan, can I say? Big fan of your little thing that you do. I like that. You're my main in Mortal Kombat too. Everyone hates when I play Scorpion. Liu Kang or Scorpion are like the two I always play as. My two favorite Mortal Kombat characters. And Cabal. Cabal is super underrated. Oh, I like the robots though too. Fuck. There's so many good Mortal Kombat characters. Both of the robots are great. Cyrax and Sector. Ugh. Love those. He shoots the rocket out of his chest. Who the fuck shoots rockets out of their chest? That's fucking awesome. Madison is saying you should stream horror games. I should. I really should. I was thinking about streaming the Texas Chainsaw game, but video games are expensive, you know? You know, Madison. Me and Madison play Fortnite every now and then. She wants me to buy the new what the fuck? Not Mortal Kombat. Modern Warfare. That just came out, the new COD. I really want to buy it. I wish I had money. God damn, I want to buy that. Looks like a lot of fun. I should stream horror games though. That would be fucking sick. Jason Carpenter is saying after rewatching the DGG Halloween trilogy, I don't think they could have had it all take place on the same night. I don't know if they should have had it on the same night. Instead of a 4-year time jump, I would have done a 2-year time jump. That's really tough. I feel like they should have just done a duology in the first place, like just 2 movies, all takes place on the one night, and that's it. Because I'm kind of with you. I don't know if 3 movies on the same night would have worked, but imagine if the end of the 3rd movie was like the morning, like the morning after all the carnage, and that's when Michael dies, the morning of November 1st. I don't know. That could have been kind of cool, but I'm with you in like that just would have been way too small of a time frame to do 3 movies over. So I kind of agree. I think they should have done, if they were going to do 3 movies, have it be like multiple dates. Honestly, I would have done the first movie on one night and then the next 2 movies on one night. You know what I mean? Like have it like Halloween 2018. That's the first movie. The next 2 movies is like 2-3 years later. So I'm kind of with you on like the just 2-3 years instead of 4 years. 4 years is weird. Like it's like, why do we need to jump 4 years? Well, because that's how long it took to make the 3rd one. So I guess that makes sense. But still, it's like 4 years. We could have done that in 2. But I don't know. Anyways, getting back to it. Imagine Art the Clown being a playable character in Mortal Kombat. What would his fucking fatalities be? Those would be awesome. Oh my God. Art the Clown just cutting up somebody in Mortal Kombat. Think like the bedroom kill, but like as a fatality. That would be sweet. Oh my God, that'd be so much fun. I'm with you, Brandon. That would be sick. Love to see a fellow Cabal main. Hell yeah, Sammyverse. We stand Cabal in this house. No, I love Cabal. I think he's such an underrated character. Really enjoy him. He's fucking scary. I think there should be a slasher villain that looks like Cabal, in my opinion. I think he's got a scary look to him. But maybe that's just me. I love his weapons, too. Really dig those. Mr. SCP is saying, honestly, quick question. Jake, thoughts on a Halloween X Exorcist movie, if that would even be possible? Like girls getting possessed in a movie with Michael Myers, too. I don't know what that storyline would be, because you'd have to have them like fight or something probably at one point. Reagan versus Michael, that would be insane. I mean, anything executed properly can be good. I will take that stance. I think anything executed in a relatively careful way can be good, depending on what it is. Scorpion saying he would be badass in Mortal Kombat. I imagine you would love to fight Art the Clown, Scorpion. You probably would. I dig it. How do y'all get these cool fonts too? I don't even know if that's what that is or not, but y'all get these cool fonts on your damn names on here. I don't know how to do that shit. I'm kind of stupid when it comes to technical shit. I'm very thankful that I have people in my life who are not stupid. Shout out to my brother Noah and Matt. Shout out to you guys for keeping me alive. You think I built this PC myself? You would be woefully mistaken. Ethan the Goat is saying, Jake, what's up, my dude? How's it going, Ethan? How you doing? Are you seeing the new Hunger Games movie? I don't know if I'm going to see the new Hunger Games movie. They used AI to create a lot of background actors, I've heard. So I don't know how I feel about that. Kind of like a weird sitch. I'm very weird with like AI right now, like I don't know. Some things it's like, well, this is just CGI. Some things it's like, well, the AI is writing a whole movie now. I don't know. So I'm like really on the fence about seeing it or not. I got to do some more research before I can allow myself to enjoy that, as pretentious as that may sound. I don't care. I'm very anti-AI, not a fan. I think human beings should be the only ones working on movies, not machines. Because then we're just stepping into Terminator territory. That fucking blows. I feel like we already do have some movies that were written by robots that, I'm not going to say any names. Thor Love and Thunder. Sorry. But, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan. There's a lot of movies out there that I'm like, this was totally written by a robot, and it shows. So I really hope that they stop doing that. I really hope Hollywood just fucks off with all that shit. But will I see the new Hunger Games? I don't know, man. I really like the first 4. I enjoy them. They're fun movies. Katniss Everdeen. Damn. I love Josh Hutcherson too. Like, that's another big reason I love those movies. I feel like he's super underrated. He should be in more things. I'm very happy that Five Nights at Freddy's was successful for him too, as well as Matthew Lillard, of course. Have you seen the new Scream 7 audition clip? I'm really trying to get away from reporting on leaks on this page. I'm really trying to stop doing it, man. I don't like talking about leaks. And a lot of this shit, I watched a video from like that I posted on here like 2 years ago about Scream 5 that was total bullshit. Like, it was something someone was talking about on Twitter, and it was like, wow, that was wrong. Like, oh shit. So I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm wasting your guys' time by talking about stuff that might happen in Scream 7, Like, a theory is one thing, because it's like it's supported evidence. But if you're talking about something that might have leaked, so to say, I don't know. I'll report on it if it's like, oh, this could lead to something really cool and interesting. But I'm not going to make a video where I'm like, oh, this audition tape might mean that this actor or actress was in it. And I did just make a video kind of similar to that. And I don't know. I don't really know if I was proud of that video or not. I go back and look at that, and I'm just like, I don't know. That wasn't really worth my time. That wasn't really worth your guys' time to have made that video. So I will look into it. If it's something that could lead to something bigger, a bigger conversation, maybe I'll make the video. I'm trying to make videos that are less like rumors and updates and stuff. I'm trying to make more stuff that I feel like is, I don't know, more worth your time. That's like the only phrase that's coming to mind. I don't want to make something where 2 years from now we're watching it and we're like, well, that was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't think that's valuable content. What happened to that guy that you were talking about on Twitter? I don't know. This person got ratioed as fuck, is what I know. Because, listen, and once again, I feel like I don't want people to watch that Terrifier video I posted on Monday and be like, oh, Jake, Jesus Christ, you're so fucked up. You want to see children die in movies. No, and if you're someone who doesn't want to see that, I respect your opinion. You're allowed to not wanting to see something like that. That's totally fair. But if you're someone who's going to criticize me for wanting to see that in Terrifier 3 and you think I'm disgusting and that I should block you for that reason, then fuck off is what I'm going to say about that. Like, y'all sound like the fucking censors in the 1980s when all the video nasties were coming out. All these people watching these movies have mental problems and shit. Shut the fuck up. Horror's great, and we love horror. So if you're going to criticize me for loving a horror film, double eagle to you, my friend. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that guy's problem was. I'm gonna be honest. Totally cool if you're like, you know what, I don't want to see Terrifier 3 because of that opening. If you have that opinion, I respect it. But if you're gonna shit on me for wanting to see that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to see children die in real life. That's fucked up. That's ridiculous. But in a horror movie where it's not really happening, yeah. It happens all the time in horror too. Like, that person's gonna lose their mind when they watch It 2017. Oh my God. Dang, bro, I just want to watch the movie. That's all. Sorry, I saw that. I was not directing that anger towards you, Scorpion. I love you, Scorpion. I'm a big fan, like I said earlier. No, that person on Twitter, I just, like, what the fuck, man? It's just like, are you kidding me? I don't know. Sometimes I just got to stay off Twitter, is what I've learned. I gotta stay off Twitter. Is what I've learned, man. There are some just bad. Every time I open that app, I feel like I see just a bad take that's just shitting on somebody else, and I'm like, what's wrong with people, man? What the hell? I don't know. Don't shit on horror fans, man. We're not fucked up people. We just enjoy watching fucked up movies, and that's okay. That doesn't make you a fucked up person. It's not the 80s anymore where we can say shit like that and get away with it. Sorry. I'm gonna police the fuck out of shit like that because I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of those kind of statements. I feel they should isolate AI writing to one franchise. What? Honestly, here's what I say they should do, Villain, Kill, and Dylan. They should have AI write a movie and say that. Say AI wrote this movie just to show how shit it is so that people can see how shit it is and then stop saying that we should use AI to write movies. Because I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't think we should use it in general, but I think we should just stay the fuck away from it. But that's just my opinion. Sorry, I'm getting all angry. Jake's getting angry now. I think it's because I haven't eaten in 6 hours, but who knows? Probably going to get off in a second, but let's keep reading some comments for a minute now. We were talking about Eli Roth, John Watts. That's who directed it. John Watts. I forgot about that. Talking about Clown. That dude would lose his mind if he saw that film. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would probably cry in the corner. Jason Carpenter's also saying, good point, Jake. I like seeing Freddy, Jason, and Michael do their thing in movies. Doesn't mean shit. Exactly. It's all good. Doesn't mean I'm a sociopath who wants to see people die. Didn't I said earlier, I love watching Ratatouille. It's one of my favorite movies. It makes me cry every single time. I promise I have emotions. But sometimes I want to watch a sadistic clown rip someone apart, and that's okay. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with that to go think and do some homework tonight and watch a fucked up horror movie and immediately after a Pixar movie. There you go. Those are my favorite double features, personally. You want to talk about eclectic? We were talking about that word earlier. That's eclectic as fuck, all over the place. But I am so excited to see Thanksgiving tomorrow, and like I said, I'll be live again on Friday to do a live review, which is going to be fucking sick. So come and join that. Go watch the movie tomorrow night. Go see it Friday night, too, and then jump into the stream where we're going to be talking about it. It's going to be fun. Might have some friends on, too. I don't know. So go check it out. Check out the movie. I'll have a review Friday morning and then a stream that night. Also, go check out the KillJoy Jake store. I'm sorry I keep promoting it, but go check out some of the new merch. It's good shit. Worked really hard on all these designs and shit. So this is what I was doing over my break because I can't stop working. I'm a workaholic, fun fact. So get any of these things. Everything's 15% off this month, which is so exciting. Do it now while the shit lasts because you only have so much time before it's all over. Thank you guys so much for everything tonight, the support. You guys are fantastic. Love all you guys, and we'll be live again on Friday. Don't forget to kill it out there, y'all, and peace out. And don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.